Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Wednesday, the 18th of December. Aftershocks are still rattling Vanuatu as rescue teams scour collapsed buildings. The German Research Centre for Geosciences says a 6.1 magnitude quake struck at a depth of 10 kilometres this morning. It's one of the largest aftershocks since yesterday's deadly 7.3 quake. The Red Cross is reporting 14 people died and 200 were injured. 2 Kiwi Ministry of Foreign Affairs staff are unaccounted for. Local Mike Thompson says they're still working to pull people from pancaked buildings.
We've got a number of deceased people in the building we're currently working on downtown, and we know that there's 3 people still alive.
A New Zealand military surveillance plane will help assess damage this morning, and more support will be sent once Port Vila Airport reopens. Kiwi Banks head says more capital will help it have a greater impact in the market. Parliament's Finance Committee has been hauling in New Zealand's banks for questioning for weeks, investigating sector competition. The government has already directed Kiwi Bank to court KiwiSaver funds and investment institutions to raise $500 million capital. Chief Executive Steve Yurkovich says it will help, but the bank has made other changes, not capital-driven.
For instance, having a really big step towards a much more inclusive wardrobe, B Corp being really strongly purpose-driven, I think those things are independent.
A KiwiSaver fund manager is coming under fire from the Financial Markets Authority for misleading statements about ethical investments. The watchdog says Pathfinder adverts, playing for 23 months, explained how it funds didn't invest in companies involved with animal testing or fossil fuels. But the authority says it had investments in 5 companies involved with animal testing and 1 involved with using fossil fuels. The FMA's Louise Unger says Pathfinder should have included prominent messaging about the exceptions it had granted the 6 companies. A Lower Hutt suburb is keeping its name. Land Information New Zealand has confirmed the proposal to rename Petone to PTO On has been declined. Azaria Howell reports.
Advocates say the change would have corrected a historic misspelling of the suburb by early settlers. The proposal had the tick of approval from the Hutt City Council and numerous iwi groups. The Geographic Board met in October but deferred a decision to Land Information Minister Chris Pank, who had the final sign-off on the matter.
10 people have minor injuries after a rough landing for a hot air balloon near Wanaka this morning, ploughing through fences on rural land. Emergency services were called to Queensbury about 8:30 this morning. To sport, the winners and losers are out for the government funding dished out to sporting bodies for the next Olympic cycle. Cycling have bagged the biggest boost, up $770,000, while easily the biggest blow goes to hockey, who have lost $1.4 million. Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. has added FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year to his trophy cabinet. And Kiwi-born Island midfielder Bundy Aki has signed a 1-year extension that will see him stay with Connacht and the IRFU until the end of the 2025-26 season. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.